The diner was quiet when they walked in, too quiet. A tired mother, a hungry little girl, and a man in a Hell's Angels vest sharing a booth no one else wanted. People stared. They judged. No one spoke. The girl's stomach growled as pancakes were set on the table, and the mother whispered an apology she shouldn't have had to make. Then the biker spoke softly, there for her. In his eyes wasn't danger, there was loss. A photo followed. A daughter he never got to raise. When he paid the bill, he didn't call it charity. He called it kindness. And as he walked out, the mother realized something she would never forget. Sometimes angels don't have wings. They ride motorcycles. Asterisk. The diner smelled of burnt coffee and cheap syrup, the kind of place people went when they had nowhere else to be and nowhere else to go. Lena sat stiffly in the cracked vinyl booth, her fingers curled tight around a chipped mug she hadn't ordered. Across from her, her daughter Emily picked at the edge of the table, eyes fixed on the tall stack of pancakes that had just been placed down. It wasn't theirs. Lena knew that. She knew it the way she knew the weight of an empty wallet, the ache of skipped meals, the silent math every poor parent does before opening their mouth. She was about to tell the waitress there had been a mistake when she noticed the man beside them. He was impossible to ignore. Broad shoulders, thick beard, arms inked with dark tattoos, a leather vest with a skull stitched across the back in bold letters spelling Hell's Angels MC. People at nearby tables had gone quiet. Forks slowed. Eyes slid away fast, like looking too long might invite trouble. Lena felt Emily lean into her side, small fingers clutching her sleeve. "Mama," Emily whispered, barely audible. "Is he scary?" Lena swallowed and forced her voice steady. "No, sweetheart. Just different." The man hadn't said a word yet. He sat there solid and still, eyes forward, as if the whole diner didn't exist. But then he glanced at Emily, just for a second, and something in his gaze softened. Not weak, not friendly exactly, just human. Lena's heart thudded. She had learned long ago not to trust appearances, but hunger had a way of stripping fear down to its bones. When the waitress came back, she spoke before Lena could. "Are these yours?" she asked the man, nodding at the pancakes. He shook his head once. "Nah," he said, voice low, gravelly. "They're hers." He looked at Emily. "You like pancakes?" Emily froze, eyes wide. Lena felt heat rush to her face. "I'm so sorry," she said quickly. "We didn't order." He raised a hand, slow, deliberate. "Relax," he said. Kid looked hungry. The diner went quieter still. Lena wanted to refuse. Pride screamed at her, shame burned her throat, but Emily's stomach growled loud enough that it betrayed them both. Emily's eyes filled with tears as she stared at the plate. "It's okay, Mama," she asked. Lena nodded, barely holding it together. "Say thank you," she whispered. "Thank you," Emily murmured. The man nodded once and turned back to his coffee. They ate in silence at first. Emily took small bites like she was afraid the food might disappear if she moved too fast. Lena watched every motion of the man beside them, half expecting anger, half expecting pity, but there was neither. Just quiet. When Emily finally relaxed, syrup smeared on her cheek, the man spoke again. "You two on the road?" Lena hesitated. "Between places," she said carefully. It was easier than explaining the eviction notice, the job that vanished, the family that stopped answering calls. He grunted like he understood more than she said. Around them, whispers floated. Some people stared. Some judged. Some waited for trouble. None of them knew how tired Lena was, how close she was to breaking. When the waitress dropped the check, Lena reached for it automatically, then froze. The man slid it back toward himself. "I got it," he said. Lena's eyes stung. "I can't." "You can," he interrupted, not unkindly. "Just eat." And for the first time in weeks, Lena let herself breathe. Asterisk when they finished. Lena expected the moment to end the way moments like this always did, with an awkward thank you and a quick escape before kindness could turn into humiliation. But the man didn't move. He watched Emily swing her legs under the booth, happy and full, and something unreadable crossed his face. "Name's Jack," he said finally. "This your girl?" Lena nodded. "Emily." Jack reached into his vest slowly, and Lena's muscles tensed without permission. He pulled out a worn photo instead of a weapon. It showed a little girl with messy hair and a gap-toothed grin, sitting on the handlebars of a motorcycle. "Mine," he said quietly. "Lost her 6 years ago." The diner felt like it tilted. Lena didn't know what to say. Emily leaned forward, curious. "She looks like me," Emily said. Jack smiled then, a real one, cracked and painful. "Yeah," he whispered. "That's why I ordered the pancakes." Silence wrapped around them, thick and heavy. Jack cleared his throat and stood, towering over the booth. People stiffened. Lena's pulse raced. Instead of leaving, he reached into his pocket and placed something on the table. A folded stack of bills. "Thick. For the road," he said. Lena shot to her feet. "No, I can't take this." Jack met her eyes, and for the first time she saw it clearly. Grief, regret, a life full of mistakes and moments no one would ever clap for. "You're not taking it for you," he said. "You're taking it for her." Emily looked up at her mother. "Mama?" Lena's resistance crumbled. She nodded, hands shaking as she gathered the money. "Thank you," she whispered, voice breaking. Jack shrugged on his jacket. "World's rough," he said. "Doesn't have to be cruel." He walked out then, the bell over the door chiming softly behind him. The diner slowly came back to life. Forks clinked, conversations resumed. But Lena and Emily sat frozen, changed. That money got them a room that night. It got Emily clean clothes, warm food, and time. Weeks later, Lena found work. Months later, a small apartment. Years later, Emily would still talk about the man with the scary vest and the kind eyes, who reminded her mother that hope can wear the most unexpected face. And if this story moved you, if it reminded you that kindness can come from anywhere, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay with us, because the next story might just change the way you see the world too.